What's up, everyone? Got a pretty cool video here for those of you wanting to put an aftermarket carburetor on your Mustangs that have EGR valves like this one. On this is an 84 Mustang, 85, 83, 82s, I believe, all have this EGR plate on the carburetor, on the manifold for the carburetor. So problems people are having is they're buying this Street Warrior carburetor like on LMR's website. They offer it, but they're not really telling you, you know. Basically, what people are doing, they're eliminating the EGR plate and putting a 1-inch plate, and then no problem, the carburetor will fit just fine. So this EGR plate is a 1-inch. So you place it with a 1-inch spacer. If you're going to eliminate the EGR valve, which I am not because I'm in California. And for those of you in states that require this and don't want to get eliminated, I got the trick for you. If you want to put this carburetor on it, try it out, and then you can just swap your original carburetor back on it, maybe come smog time. Or I think the carburetor is probably going to run more efficient if you tune it right. So I don't know why they require people to have certain parts if the vehicle is going to run better. But anyways, if you do not want to eliminate that, you need the smog stuff, and you're going to put this carburetor. Here's the thing. So your original carburetor, which is this one, has your PCV port in the front. This is the underside of it. And this backside here is flat. There's nothing. So this new one, the problem that people are having, okay, PCV valve, it has 2 ports in the front, but it has one in the back, okay, and that's what hits the EGR. And this is what I did. I cut it right here, covered it up with the nipple, put some not Loctite, but the other one, the one that turns into JB Weld. I put some JB Weld in it, screwed it in, but first you gotta tap it. Okay, let me show you guys. This is what was on there originally. So it goes like this. That's how far back this thing hits. This is for the PCV valve or brake booster. But these original cars have the brake booster vacuum through that port. That's where it's being connected to. I haven't connected it yet, but that's where it goes. So you don't need this. And I took a risk. I cut it with the saw. Okay, this is a what is it? 3/8. 3/8, I think. It measures from here to here. Okay, or you can cut it flush with this end to end. Okay, but I cut it with the saw. First I took this little pipe out. This pipe. Okay, see how it comes out. I basically put a screwdriver inside like that. Inside, it's like this, right? Let's say it goes like that, and then I grabbed some vice grips, clamped it on right here, and started turning it slowly, just loosen it a little bit. Once it feels a little loose, then grab a hammer and hammer the vice grips back, and it'll come out. This little pipe will come out. Boom. Then I cut this piece off, and it's just a hole. It's just a little port. If you cut it off, there's nothing. It's solid. It's just a hole that goes and comes out through there. See that right there? Okay, there's nothing gonna interfere if you cut that little piece off. See this piece? There's nothing. There's no other vacuum ports. It's just for the pipe. Okay, cut it off. Tap thread, get one of these plugs. Get the ones, I recommend getting the ones with the Allen wrench though. Don't get these pipe ones. I don't have time to go search for the Allen ones, so I found a pipe one. I had to kind of trim this a little bit, and then I put it in. I did the thread first, with the die, with the tap and die set. This one, because if you do try to force this in little by little, you might be able to get away with it, but you can also crack this. You don't want to do that. So thread it. Mark my words, thread it. And then put it in. I didn't want to put it in too far. I don't want to crack it. And so it fits perfect. And so now on your heat soak plate, aluminum plate that comes stock with these vehicles, I made a little hole right there on the back. Okay, so this, there you go, it's aligned right there. You see that? It barely, like you can barely feel the nipple right there. But I made the hole because it was actually hitting the aluminum and it wouldn't sit flush, okay? So that little nipple doesn't really stick out from the plate. So over here, you won't have any problems hitting. I already test fitted it and everything. So let's put it on. So that way you can keep your plate. This thing works really good because it helps your gasoline won't boil over. Keeps the carburetor and all the fuel cool. And you want to keep that. So pretty much it's a modification, but it's a modification to change the carb and keep your emissions. There we go. Sits nice. And let's see if we can see that. Fits good. See?
Okay.
It doesn't hit. And that's the way you can make it fit. Right there. It's perfect. So for those of you who want that carb, you can do that modification just like I did. Cut that little nipple back. You don't need it. You can use a front PCV port or the one on the plate on the bottom. Okay, and the back for the brake booster, you use the manifold. And that's your modification. Just thought I'd throw this video out there for those of you having trouble wanting to put this carburetor on emissions legal vehicle.